welcome back to SharePoint Television. I'm happy to be here on the expo floor again with two more great folks from the SharePoint community. We're going to be talking today about a recipe for innovation, how we're all dealing with scenario-based innovation out in the field and the demand for these kinds of services. As you can tell, SharePoint is taking us far in terms of driving real business value. So we want to understand from folks who are out there doing it, how they're coping with all these new changes. In case you've forgotten, you can see highlights of SharePoint Television on your TV in your hotel room on channel 36. Also check the hashtag SPCTV or SPC12 to get engaged in the conversation. Now I'd like to introduce my panel members, Pune Kaufman and
Hello.
Jojo. Hi.
Hi.
Hi, welcome. I'm glad you guys are here today. So,
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, it's good to be here.
It's good. You accepted the appointment, so you're here, right? It's a great thing. Well, listen, the first thing I want to give our viewers an opportunity to know is a little bit about you. So, Pune, why don't you tell us a little bit about your career and who you're working with now?
Sure. My name is Pune Kaufman, and I work with Warner Brothers Interactive Entertainment. They're a division of Warner Brothers. We do mostly game development. We are the publisher for our 7 game studios. And so we are in the gaming business, and we love games. We love SharePoint.
We do.
Yes.
We do.
And I'm the director of project management there. I manage all the SharePoint projects.
Excellent. Joe?
I'm a programmer at Microsoft. I work for Legal Corporate Affairs department in the Business Technology and Solutions department. It's long. But basically what we do is we deliver solutions for LCA specific, for Legal Corporate Affairs, for our attorneys, and specifically around SharePoint. We've made the bet that SharePoint is what we want to use to let them collaborate.
That's excellent. And both of these groups, one of the reasons I picked you both to be on this panel is because, and we did collectively, both of you are driving real innovations in the way that you're moving to the cloud and doing other things. And so I want to really hear about that. But how has the release of 2013 affected you, Pune, in terms of the work that you're doing? I believe Warner Brothers was in the TAP program. Is that accurate?
We were actually trying to be in the TAP program.
Right.
We were moving towards that, but because we have a lot of custom development, we had to slow back a little bit, slow down. We are definitely, the day 2013 was released, we had it up on VMs. Right now, the SharePoint conference has truly helped us as far as how to plan our upgrade and move to the cloud. We've just kind of been going through all the sessions that talk about the migration path based on our infrastructure and what we have to date. We truly have to go through a hybrid model because we do have so many different applications for our studios. So we're really looking forward to upgrading on-premise and then moving to the cloud, but having a hybrid model for our divisions and studios.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And Joe, you know, of course, we partnered together, me being in Microsoft IT, Discovering Collaboration, you being in Microsoft LCA. So we've been in the 2013 model for a little while, being able to dog food and what have you. But what have you seen about the new feature set that's really sparked your interest in terms of the innovations you're going to be able to deliver?
You know, 2013 definitely gives us greater opportunities to connect with the business, connect with partners, being able to share information. And, you know, we too live in a hybrid model where we're slowly migrating to the cloud, our content. But we're really not looking to necessarily move everything right now. We're setting up our environment in the cloud and leaving the content there, but still being able to surface in both areas.
I think that's so important. The hybrid model is something that we all have to deal with. There is, I'll give a pitch for the MSIT session on how we're doing our cloud migration, which is today at 5 o'clock, and it's really a pretty interesting story in terms of how we're forklifting everything. But you know, as you get ready and you take an inventory of your catalog, users out in the community are wanting new and innovative things. What are you seeing, Pune? I mean, you both represent these two different industries, legal and compliance and gaming and media, right?
Exactly.
Very different audiences and very different needs. So what are they looking for in media and entertainment, Pune?
Well, the great thing about being in the gaming group and the interactive entertainment is that we actually provide services across all the divisions of Warner Brothers Interactive Entertainment because that we've built our SharePoint platform around the framework of game development. We have verticals basically within our life cycle, I should say, and within that we touch every avenue. So at phase 1, you know, we have obviously the marketing team coming up with the product concept. As we go through the life cycle, we have finance, we have marketing, we have legal, we have every division touching every thread. And so our concept really has been, you know, we've innovated through a business need. We all talk about innovation and how we strive towards it because we've come to a process that, you know, we've accepted like the business needs, people just come to us now these days and just say, hey, what about this? What about this process improvement? Can we do it better this way? I mean, we've just embraced it so much, and we're so passionate about what we do, and we've been able to socialize it before we start going through it with people as they're coming up with requests. What we do is our VP has been tremendous. He's been sending out white papers, and he's been socializing it. We get collective feedback, and then we make recommendations through these white papers, and they come up with a solution where everyone's happy and excited about it and really embraces it. And so the innovation continues. It doesn't have to be big. It can be from a small business need. But I mean, it goes literally because, you know, it can be from green lighting a product, right? So for our finance group saying, I need to be able to manage change orders, and I need to have version history, and I need to have records management once this project budget is approved, you know, and so we continue. We use every aspect of SharePoint to be able to do that. And so I think with 2013 coming, and you know, moving into that, we're really excited. Our whole gaming group is asking, our IT groups, we're all excited about the social aspect of it. You know, coming and doing the Yammer and getting the social and the gamification, because we're in this industry, we want to incentivize people to really move forward and get the metrics that we need and change the behaviors that we all talk about.
And you know, I think you hit several key points there, and one of them was innovating from business need and the collaborative process. I think, you know, I really believe that when people are involved in the process of innovation and they feel like they're partners with us in IT and as technologists, they don't feel like we're shoving technology down their throat. They're actually there. They're at the beginnings of it. Do you find that inside Microsoft as well? You know, I mean,
absolutely. I mean, we're in an era where the business is a little more savvy than they used to be.
Exactly.
They're better at coming to the IT or the, you know, the technical departments about their problems, you know. And you know, it goes both ways. From our side, working with them closely along the way. You know, from the get-go, it's not about gathering requirements, go build it. It's, you know, working with them all this and walking them through, and that way you're getting the adoption and the evangelism steps in there also.
Yeah.
So
and also, don't you think that it's about developing their skill sets? I really think that, you know, those of us who have come into this industry, we've been around ECM or custom app dev for a while. We have a bit of a background that leads us into SharePoint. A lot of people are new. In my class this morning, many people, this is their first SharePoint conference. And so I think it's very important that we teach them how to think about these problems and give them that framework.
Yep.
And that goes to what you said this morning is, you know, it comes down to empowering the business or the users, right?
Yes, absolutely empowering.
Truly.
Plus, we can't be everywhere, right?
Exactly. No, exactly.
We need to clone ourselves, right?
Exactly.
Otherwise, we become the bottleneck, which is
And I definitely agree with you. I think the more that you empower the users, the more excited that they get and become passionate, just like you. I mean, you can see the excitement when we do that. You know, when we roll out things, we just get so excited, but it's just to see the users actually get excited and come up with the ideas and actually innovate other users because they have the knowledge, it's amazing. And I think what we've learned in the gaming industry, I mean, we have very technical developers, right? So it was very easy as far as adoption goes initially, right? Everybody's so savvy, they needed a change, we needed a framework, we're using SharePoint as our ecosystem, so what better way to do it? We have developers, they know how to use it, they're very familiar. Well, now that we're touching all the avenues and all the verticals of our divisions, now we're touching the users that are not the savvy users, that aren't our game developers, that don't have these different versions and machines. So now we're trying to say, hey, now we really need to focus on this super user model. We recently deployed an implementation for a performance management system here, and it was fantastic. We're working with one of the vendors here. We've deployed it for 2,000 users across our 7 studios. What we did is, you know, we have HR users as our primary users. So, you know, we spent a lot of time on WebEx, a lot of time working with these people, but they really became our first line of defense and becoming the help desk for us. As I think we've seen Nation and all these different really great use cases here talking about how their help desk went down. We've kind of done the same thing, is identifying who are our super users. They love the system just like you. There's business value for them, makes their job easier. They're going to support us. Right. So now they're going to help us get through.
And now you're going to have communities built right into that.
Exactly.
Do you think you're going to be leveraging social?
Definitely, definitely. That is our next target for 2013. That's our complete focus, is to be able to get the social in there. We're really excited with Microsoft about the whole Yammer.
Yeah, the Yammer acquisition has been amazing. And also within SharePoint, you'll have the community template.
Yes.
We were just talking
Yeah,
about that a
exactly.
minute ago. The community
Exactly.
template is so useful. We certainly use it for O365, our help desk.
Yeah.
And then we have users helping each other, right? And I know that you do this and you're building some really great stuff at LCA as well with social.
Right. I mean, we started piloting in 2000 with SharePoint 2010 with building LCA network. So you know, it's building a short community where people can log in and share their information just within the LCA. But you know, there was a gap where we're working with attorneys and they want to be able to segment their content, right?
Yes.
And not be able to expose that even within LCA.
Right.
And so you know, with Yammer coming and the new social capabilities of 2013, it allows us to get there. So, and you know, with Yammer now, it's really simple to even add it to SharePoint 2010. I mean, you can just simply add a little web part, some scripting, and it's there.
Yes,
And it's ready to go,
absolutely,
right?
absolutely. And you know, as we go forward, I'm sure there's going to be more innovation in getting SharePoint and Yammer to work well. There's been a lot of great sessions about it here at the conference, and if you want to see examples of that work, people can download the presentation off of the SharePoint conference site, my SPC. There are examples of that sort of innovation in SPC 035. So you can kind of see what LCA is doing, and I think people really need to understand that within the framework so that they can be thinking about how that could help their own organizations communicate.
Exactly.
You know, people need to see real business value. And so going forward over the next, say, 18 months to 2 years, what do you think is going to be the most, the area where you'll be innovating the most in your organizations? What do you think? Go ahead, Pune. Tell us.
Well, to us, it's truly for the game studios. I mean, I think because we have so many different studios and we're continually acquiring and building our group up, it's going to be around social. I mean, that's going to be a big focus about quality assurance, being able to manage projects and quality assurance during all the gaming and testing. That's going to be really big for us to be able to have that visibility, roll it up through the project timelines, to be able to see these project tasks. This is going to be key for us. I mean, we love that new feature in SharePoint 2013. Really looking forward to do upgrades so we can get these roll-ups visibility, because our president, my vice president, they're responsible for all these and all the data, and every studio is doing different game builds and every studio's got different issues. We face the same business issues, and we want to see what's out there, but in order to see that is we need to be able to do the roll-ups, to have the visibility, and then do the collaboration, the social piece of it.
Absolutely.
And moving to the host, to the cloud, to be able to have accessibility at all times, right? And not worrying about versioning and not worrying about browsers and desktops. I mean, that's the hugest advantage to moving to the cloud, right? Is because you're going to have those cycles that are just incredible, 3-month turnaround cycles, where you can compete in agile and be, in game development so fast, and you can do this because now we have the technology in place. Whereas before, Warner Brothers is great, huge studio. We have very archaic systems. We have Office 2. I'm not even embarrassed to say it. I mean, XP in 2003.
Yes. But that's normal, though.
I mean, it's
normal.
like
People do out there. People aren't usually on the cutting edge.
Exactly.
Right? That's the difference in our reality. Of course, we're dog fooding constantly now. We're going to constantly be in a dog food cycle of new things. But most people out there are more conservative. Also, it costs money. There's capital investments and what have you. So yeah, I mean, it's not a unique situation to find someone still with IE6 or XP or what have you. But now I think there's been so much advancement. When you read, there's been so much advancement, Joe, that it seems almost counterproductive to not go ahead and upgrade to the new technology at this point in the game.
Right. I mean,
3 years ago, maybe not.
Right.
Yep. I mean, there's just so many opportunities that SharePoint 2013 gives you. One thing is, obviously community, the integration of Yammer. For me specifically around corporate records, being able to deploy my record centers in the cloud, on premise.
That's all the difference,
all the e-discovery features and Discovery Center.
Absolutely.
And also the ability to work with outside counsel.
Yes.
And that's big.
That's
a huge thing,
innovation
to be able to share outside of your organization and collaborate, right? And that gives you the opportunity. And then it's the reach. Microsoft's not just a US-based company. We are worldwide.
Exactly.
And being able to upgrade those features, and then lastly the apps, right? Being able to surface apps. I mean, we'll eventually build an LCA network, on your Windows Phone. So integrating in those features there too.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's just limitless.
You know, and I think you hit on something, a key point there, which is the app model, right? The app model, I think, is, you know, one of the greatest innovations, you know, that's ever happened, you know, and because of the parity, I believe Microsoft's the only company that could give us this ability to have this sort of experience across Windows Phone, our tablet devices, our Surfaces, and our laptops and desktop computers. And so being able to develop in that app model now, are you embracing that at Warner Brothers, Pune?
Definitely, definitely. We're really excited about that model, especially because being in the creative industry, you know, we don't have standards as far as you have to use a Windows desktop or an iPad. We use all different devices, and having that extensibility and browser compatibility across this is tremendous. And then being able to apply these apps and deploy them quickly and agile, I mean, that's really the key to successful business these days. I mean, we're not a big group. You know, it's not about being the biggest, it's being agile, it's being fast and delivering so that your clients and your people get excited and they're like, wow, I got this system up in 8 weeks. I mean, how is that, you know, possible when you have other groups doing 3 months, 4 months, 2 years of work trying to get some form up online, and you're like, I got it up in 8 weeks, you know, for 2,000 users, no problem.
Right.
You know, and that's because
it makes
of
a
this
huge difference to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Plus, who can resist your enthusiasm,
I know.
right? I mean, you're totally enthusiastic about SharePoint. How much do you love SharePoint, Pune? Right?
I
We all love
love
it.
SharePoint. I love it.
We love it. We all love it here,
Yeah.
and that's why we're here, is because we do love it, and it matters to us, and we know that we can drive these business values. And finally, the tools are evolving to a place where it's actually easier. It looks harder because there's more to learn and it's complex, but really the new application model, I think, is going to make it easier for us to deliver these experiences across those devices once we get there, right? But it's iterative. You guys know that.
And the other thing is, like you touched this morning, it's access anywhere, right?
Exactly.
So, you know, being able to, you know, work from anywhere, you know, do anything, spend more time with your family if that's the thing, you know, go, like you said, at a soccer game, right?
Exactly.
There you go, you're done, you know, you have your information anywhere you need it.
Absolutely, you know, because I'd much rather be approving those tasks and reviewing my program and all the projects underneath it from my Surface sitting, you know, by the lake, as opposed to having to be tied to my desk, right? And so, yeah, definitely. Getting modern is about doing anywhere. I'm really fond of the theme of this conference, sharing more and doing more, because I think that's where we're going. And so much that we're going to get an opportunity to do. So, you know, do you have one favorite thing, one favorite feature, you know, besides, I mean, I know we have the big bets going to the cloud and you know, the application model, but is there anything that you've seen that, you know, that you really love? Everything that you're doing day to day, what piques your interest the most?
Gosh, there's
so much, right?
There's just so much.
That was an unfair question, wasn't it? I shouldn't have done that to the poor guy.
There's just so much. I mean, I guess, you know, for me, it's you know, around the records. But, you know, again, touching to the app model, you know, being able to see if someone signed an NDA from anywhere, right? And it's just not for me, it's from anywhere, you know. And then, you know, getting somebody to sign an NDA. You're just like, oh, we're about ready to talk to this. I mean, right now, if we're talking something, an NDA, and just really quickly off my phone, have you just
That's brilliant. I didn't even know that was in the mix. That's great. I love that idea. Yeah, and especially for, you know, I'm a half marketing person, right? So I'm imagining being out in the field, I need someone to sign an NDA, you know, bam, you know, so no, that's a really, and that extensibility is huge for sure. Pune, what do you think?
You know, I got to tell you, I love everything. I mean, I love SharePoint since the day it came out. I'm the SharePoint mom that implements SharePoint for my soccer teams. You know, she creates SharePoint sites.
I can attest to this.
I create
SharePoint for the soccer team right here.
Share pictures, the schedule, the snack schedules. You know, I have it for Girl Scouts and for cookie counts. I mean, I'm just crazy about every feature that's there. And, you know, I love to use it in my professional life as well as my personal life. So, you know, I'm really, like I keep saying, I'm excited about the social feature because it's something that we've been looking for, because we are in the gaming industry looking for gamification, you know, being able to do the badging and change the behaviors and get people excited about leadership boards and ratings. And really, we think that's going to make our whole environment so much fun with this process. But I mean, there's, you know, You're talking to a SharePoint geek here,
Yes.
so I love it, and I can't tell
Well,
you
we're all
anything.
SharePoint geeks.
Exactly.
That's why we're here, right? In Vegas talking about SharePoint.
Exactly.
So, no, I really appreciate you guys coming out for the panel today. I think
Thank
it's
you.
an exciting time to be in this industry, and you're both doing such amazing work. So, I'm just happy to be here and sharing your
Thank
enthusiasm.
you.
It's great.
Thank you for
Thanks
your
for having us.
opportunity.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's going to be it for this segment of our innovation panel on SharePoint Television. Thank you for joining us today, and remember, get included in the conversation. Don't let it stop here at the conference. Get a Twitter account, follow SPConf, or add the hashtag SPC12 or SPCTV to make sure that your commentary is included. You can find us all online. We love to talk to you, and we're happy that you're here. This is Kara Wanagatima with Microsoft IT's Discovery and Collaboration Group, and this is SharePoint TV.